Good day everyone and welcome to Exile News, the weekly show that brings you all the important news and informations on Path of Exile. And starting the week with the smaller news, first up is some new 3D art that's coming in Ascendancy. So for example, you can see Wrath Reach, the new bow, Cheetah's Needles, you can see two of those, Winds of Change, the new gauntlets here, could have gotten a better position of that I guess, Spine of the First Claimant, you can see that there, and the alternate art, Blood Dance. All of these screenshots are kind of corrected in Photoshop, so you might not enjoy the art as much in the game. But yeah, 3D art is always better than just having the base type anyway, so that's good. Also, we got a sneak peek at some new unique items that are coming with the expansion. First up is Malachi's Loop, which gives, besides being a shield, an energy-based shield, it gives +2 to maximum power charges and a 20% chance to gain a power charge on it, with increased spell damage per power charge, which is really strong. However, you lose all power charging on reaching the maximum power charge, and you are also shocked for 4 seconds when you reach max power charges, so this is definitely an item you have to use carefully. Might be absolutely great for dischargers. You get, if you can actually manage your charges and never get to the maximum. However, I think it's a bit too difficult to use, but we'll see if someone will be able to do that. Then we got the Ressus Passion, which is an S-stock, of course fitting with the Ressus theme. It gives crit multi, gives physical and cold damage. It gives reduced frenzy charge duration and increased damage while you have no frenzy charges. However, it also gives you a 25% chance to gain a frenzy charge on kill. So if you know of a way to use your frenzy charges instantly when you get them, you can easily get them and then use them, and you have more damage when you do not have them. So it's kind of a tricky one to use, but it's definitely something you can build on. Glitter Disc, Burnished Spiky Shield. It's a hybrid evasion and energy shield with their own crap implicit as usual, which has increased rarity of items found, so that's actually pretty good. But the strongest point is the 25% chance to avoid fire damage when hit, which might be pretty good in some situations, although it's probably bad if you actually need to use this item to survive the fire damage in the first place. Then there is the Writhing Jar, which is a unique hallowed hybrid flask, and it gives you instant life and mana, but that's not the point. The point is that 2 enemy writhing worms escape the flask when used, and you can use the flask 2 times before actually running out. So the point of these flasks is for those builds which sometimes run out of charges because they don't find enough monsters around. You can actually summon some monsters on demand, so that's pretty interesting. Some builds will definitely end up using this, but the most interesting unique this time is Varunastra Val Blade. So besides being a decent one-hander, the really strong point here is counts as all one-handed melee weapon types. This means that if you get claw specific passive in the passive tree, they work with this. You can get dagger, you can get one-handed sword, you can get one-handed hexes. So this weapon can definitely become really strong, and it's definitely something you can build upon. Also, it's a unique exclusive to the next league, the Perandus League, which will come along with the expansion, so definitely something interesting right there. But then we got the Ascendancy Enchantments. The gloves, you can enchant them since the normal difficulty. There are 3 levels of enchantment on them though, and the merciless ones are the strongest. So the decree enchantments are the merciless one, and they work like on kill, or when you get hit, or when you take a critical strike, something happens. For example, the Decree of the Grave summons icy floating minion skulls that fight for you when you kill. But yeah, I feel like gloves aren't really worth any time to enchant. There are boots, which are slightly better. They give you bonuses when certain conditions are met. For example, you gain 90% increased critical strike chance if you haven't crit recently, or you can gain move speed if you haven't been hit recently, so on and so forth. However, boots also pale in comparison to the helmets enchantments, which are actually the good part of these enchantments, and you can only do those in Merciless after completing the Merciless Labyrinth. So helmet enchantments are all about skills, and there are at least 2 skills enchantments for every skill out there, so there's a lot of enchantments. Good luck getting the one you want. But you can see for a couple examples here, 20% increased blink arrow cooldown recovery speed, or 20% reduced Arctic armor mana reservation, that's pretty big. 25% increased flicker strike damage, nothing to scoff at, and 8% increased earthquake radius. That's also very good, and you can see you can enchant unique items as well, so that's also really good. And yeah, you can override this enchantment with another enchantment by redoing the labyrinth once again. So yeah, people will have to do labyrinth a couple thousand times to get the enchantments they want, but some of those will make your build much stronger, so there's definitely going to be something interesting there. And then we got to the biggest news, starting with the new support gems revealed. This reveal was gifted by GGG to Lifting Nerd Bro. You can see the full video in the link I'll put in the description below. We'll take a look at the gem. First one is Elemental Focus, giving 30% more elemental damage. However, you cannot inflict status ailments, so you cannot burn, freeze or shock, but you still do a crap load of damage. And this might even work with Righteous Fire, especially if you put it into totems, so that's definitely a very strong gem. Might also be really good for attacks which care less of the status ailments you can inflict. The other gem is Minefield. Minefield allows you to have 2 additionally remote mines placed at a time, and you place 2 of them at a time, so it's kind of like multi-trap but 4 mines, of course giving a less damage multiplier, but it's really good, especially if you have the Saboteur nodes. You can also use these alongside mines to boost your traps, and that's something Pox did, and that's something someone else might actually think of doing. So all in all, definitely 2 good new support gems which are definitely going to be used. And another skill, this time an active, that was revealed is Sunder, which, as you can see for the video, is basically a shockwave, a straight up shockwave, kind of like a glacial cascade. However, it's physical, and of course it works well with maces, 2-handed staves, and I don't think much else. Maces, staves and axes, that's it. Although it doesn't specify 2-handed, so hopefully you can actually one-hand that. And basically every enemy that gets hit actually releases a circular shockwave around it, so it hits all the other enemies as well. It's kind of like a way to improve the AoE. Hopefully though, having more AoE on this will actually increase the width, because every skill that doesn't increase in width, for example Flame Surge, feels really bad to use as a main skill. So maybe it will not be used as a main skill. We will see how that goes, though Earthquake really has the AoE's part covered, so we'll have to see how that works. And the biggest reveal this week is the Ascendant class, which is the Scion Ascendancy. Now, this reveal was made by ZiggyD, and there is a video, again I'll put it into the description below. However, what we care about here is this wheel here, which is the Ascendancy wheel for the Scion. Basically, how does this work? You get 3 points, it's 1, 2 and 3, and you can get to any of the other 6 classes. As you can see, these nodes here have little 3 nodes around. These 3 nodes represent the 3 subclasses. So for example, if I go up here, I go into the Witch, and then I can get one of these 3 nodes, which, as you can see here, we got the Occultist node, the Elementalist node, and the Necromancer node. And these nodes are basically kind of a sum for that specific class. Of course, it's not going to be as strong as the class itself, but it's somewhat part of that class. So for example, if you go Elementalist, you can still gain Elemental Conflux, you still have increased damage for the type of golem you have out, so that's pretty good. And then, once you got one of those, you might want to go for another one, so having 6 points allow you to actually go dual class, and that's really cool. However, what you can also do is going to the end of the tree here, and this will make it so that you will be able to start from the specific class start. So if you get to this point here, you will be able to start from the witch and respec your passive points to actually have your Scion isolated from the rest of the tree. And this is really amazing. Let's see if you can get a look here. But yeah, you can see it right here. The Scion on the bottom here, it's not connected with everything that's up there. So this is definitely a dual class. It's Scion that went into the witch, which is absolutely crazy. And that's really interesting. Even though just having a dual class is not that enticing to me, this thing that you can start from another point is really absolutely great. It kind of actually allowed you to, for example, go for these area nodes you never take, or maybe go for the triple jewels and then start something else. So it's definitely something worth building on, and it's definitely interesting. Now we'll just have to wait for the patch notes for the new skill tree, and we're good to go for the expansion, which is coming in less than 5 days. It's coming next Friday. It's definitely gonna be interesting. And yeah, I guess this was all for this week. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment down below. Also, if you want to remain updated every week, be sure to subscribe to my channel. So that was all. I've been your host Giorgio, and I'll see you guys the next time.